In the shadows where the veil thins, truth whispers, unseen forces stir, and the unknown calls your name. Here, in the depths of the metaphysical, the darkness is not to be feared, it is to be understood. But beyond the night, there is also light. For every shadow there is a glow, for every question an answer waiting to be found. We walk the line between mystery and revelation, between fear and enlightenment. Welcome to Lumino and Umbra, where we embrace both the seen and the unseen, the dark and the divine. Dilik Aktan, your guide on this journey beyond the veil. Together, you will discover the secrets of the metaphysical world, step by step, shadow by light. Now, here is your host, Dilik Aktan.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are together with another live video. This is the second part of the angels and demons, and we will be talking about it. I'm actually excited because this one will be a little longer than before, which the last one, first part of this subject, I didn't think that it was going to be that long, but somehow it got long. So now I can see better. Let's start. First of all, before start to anything, I would like to say welcome to the show, everyone. Before we delve into the fascinating world of angels and demons, I want to be clear about a few things. The information shared in this podcast is based on a variety of sources, is both verified and unverified, and is presented for informational and entertainment purposes only. It is absolutely not my intention to influence or change your personal beliefs in any way. Your spiritual journey and the conclusions you draw are entirely your own, and you have the sole right to your own judgment and discernment on these topics. Please be aware that I cannot be held responsible for any personal interpretations or comments you may have regarding the subjects discussed. This podcast and any accompanying videos are intended solely for an adult audience of 18 years or older. If you're under the age of 18, please exit this podcast or video now. Thank you for your understanding and for respecting this disclaimer. Now let's begin. Last time we were talking about the angels and fallen angels. We talked about the description of angels, and then we talked about some other things. That was the first part of this video, first part of this subject. And if you have missed that, it is on my channel. You can watch it anytime. Feel free to do so. We have talked about fallen angels, and actually we made a little bitty beginning of the demons with that subject. And then after that, we have talked about the two fallen angels that are called Harut and Marut, and now we are going to be talking about the description of demons. It's interesting, with the researches that I have done, is actually bringing a lot of different descriptions to me. So based on the Wikipedia description of demons, is according to Christian theology, demons are fallen angels, which we have talked about it before. They are believed to have been created as good angels who then turned evil by joining Lucifer in his rebellion against God. This mythology is not shared by Judaism or found as such in the New Testament. Also, I accept this information, this last information that it was talking about. This mythology is not shared by Judaism or found as such in the New Testament. Yes, I think so, because I actually made my own research about it to make sure. And because of this, also I accept this information according to my researches as well. But it's your soul judgment and discernment about it, like I said in the disclaimer. The occults are describing demons like this. A demon is a lesser spirit that intervenes in the physical world. Demons usually are associated with evil, but in pre-Christian and non-Christian cultures, demons were and are not necessarily good or evil. There are both good and bad demons, and demons are capable of both kinds of behaviors. The term demon means replete with wisdom. Good demons once were called oedemons, and evil demons were called keika demons, which I would like to share this information with you guys right here. Just a second. Shoot, I think I have gone to the different spot. Oh, not that one. All right, let's see. Right here. Okay. I'm in the wrong area. Okay, yes, this is what I was looking for, but let's change this because this one was coming from the last subject that we have taught. Okay, so the demons were, some demons are good and some of them are evil, right? And the good ones were called good demons, which I will put it right here. And the evil ones called Keiko demons. There we go. So the demon, word demon, is derived from the Greek term daimon, or divine power, fate, or God. In Greek mythology, daimon included deified heroes. The word demon is a distortion of daimone or daemon. So it is actually a really interesting part, because sometimes we are actually thinking that this is something that we use during the daily life, but here we go. Let's share this information with you guys. So daimon or daemon, okay? This is the information that we are catching about it, which refer to various specific types of spirits, some of them wild and rambunctious, but none of them wicked or evil. Post-Christianity, however, the word became a blanket term to indicate virtually any spirit. Christianity forbade interaction with spirits, with the exception of angels and officially approved saints. So in this part of the approved saints part, it's interesting, which this is the part that I personally think the Christianity is ingenuine about it, because Christianity is, let's say, accepting some saints, but when it comes down to one of them, let's talk about that one as well, Jeanne d'Arc. Jeanne d'Arc was actually accepted as a saint in 1900s instead of back in the medieval time, which she also called as Joan of Arc. Keep that in mind. We will talk about this in a detail, but this is not the right time to talk about this. So, but there's just a little bit of information that I just want to put. Demons were intermediary spirits between man and the gods. A good daemon, which we are talking about, we still are talking about the demons, but they are saying that there are good demons, there are bad demons. A good daemon acted as a guardian spirit, and it was considered lucky to have one for guidance and protection. A guardian daemon whispered advice and ideas in one's ear. Evil daemons could lead one astray. Socrates claimed he had a daemon his entire life. This is an interesting part. So the daemon's voice warned him of danger and bad decisions, but never directed him what to do. So this information is interesting. I will eventually talk about a spirit keeping subject, and there is this demon part is actually coming in play. So keep that in mind. And Socrates said his guardian spirit was more trustworthy than omens from the flights and entrails of birds, two highly respected forms of divination at the time. If you guys excuse me, I need to check something really quick to see about it. Let's see. All right. I think everything is all good. I needed to check my own video on YouTube before I make sure about something else. And let's see. Yes, the chat is on. Sometime somebody told me that the chat was not on, so I just needed to make sure about it. And let's keep going. So it's interesting part that some people are doing the spirit keeping. They are using some demons in their life as well. And in the pseudepigrapha, demons are commonly called evil or unclean spirits. Sometimes they are also called Satan's angels. So, which we have talked about this before during the fallen angels part, that when we were talking about it. In the Qumran writings, which are found in the Qumran cave by the Dead Sea. We have talked about that in the first part of this subject. In the Qumran writings, demons are referred to as angels of destruction. They are servants of Belial and yet execute God's temporal and eternal judgments on evildoers. In these documents, we see the concept of a prince of evil, which I will be talking about it in the upcoming episode. It will be about the hierarchy of angels and demons. If we get enough time today, we will be talking about it. We will start talking about that subject as well. But if we don't have enough time, then we will talk about it later. So, according to the Babylonian creation, which is, you would know, as Enuma Elish, epic Enuma Elish is talking about the both gods and demons are the children of Tiamat or Tiamat, whatever you would want to call it. Is the Tiamat, the goddess of primordial chaos. But the Tiamat also is known, aka the earth or the Gaia. That's another thing. Keep that in mind. Many demons of Japanese folklore are really oni or yokai. So I will write this down for you guys and you guys can see it. Oni and yokai. This is an interesting information because I actually personally didn't know about this as well, even though I am into the Japanese culture, but I haven't came across with this information before. So they're calling the demons oni or and yokai. And this is just like the demons and diamonds type of thing, like the good demons and bad demons. Many demons of Japanese folklore are really oni and yokai. Oh, hello. My cat is visiting us again. Many demons of Jewish folklore are called jinn, which we have talked about this on the first part of the angels and demons. And if you have missed those informations, I highly suggest you to check that one as well, which is written or spelled like this, the jinns, which also they are called in the same way according to Islam as well. But there are also good jinns and bad jinns. Jewish cosmology sometimes refer to dangerous, destructive angels as demons. Japanese demons serve many functions. They serve and attend deities, which this is the part again is related with the spirit keeping or spirit companionship as well. They guard temples, shrines, and sacred places. They are employees of hell regions, where their function is to torment dead souls as punishment for sins committed. They serve living people too, which this is the part that I was talking. They can serve to living people too, which before I have mentioned it as Socrates was talking about having a demon as a spirit guide to himself. Especially this can happen they can serve to living people, especially if someone who wins a wager on contest with them. So, before I have talked about the demons according to the different religions and according to the ancient religions during the subject of fallen angels part. And I actually have talked about it, how actually um, Book of Enoch was actually perceiving the demons. Okay, if you would like to see that, you can watch the first part of this subject as well. So now we're going to be talking about this. According to Islam and the Holy Quran, evil is mentioned as Iblis, which I can actually show you exactly like this. So they actually mentioned as Iblis. Iblis is one of the jinn who went astray and rebelled against the command of his Lord, which we have talked about this one during the fallen angels part as well. He is actually a jinn. He rose to the rank of worshipping Allah and joined the angels, but later lost his position because of his rebellion. We have talked about this as well. If you would like to learn the details about this part, you can go back to the fallen angels part. According to Islam, Satan cannot be perceived by sense organs like angels and jinns, but whose existence is definitely stated in the Quran and authentic hadiths, was created from fire, which we have talked about it too. In my opinion, now this information also takes me back to the information that I previously shared while I was talking the lights of angels that were called Nur and Nar. Nur was cold light and the Nar was hot light. Also, Satan claimed to be superior to Adam on the grounds that he was created from clay and himself from fire, and he avoided from prostrating to Adam, incurred Allah's curse, and was expelled from his presence. Later, he misled Adam and Eve and caused them to be expelled from heaven. You need to go back to the part again, the fallen angels part. For the reason of creation of Satan, according to Quran, is since Allah Almighty created beings with their opposites so that they can be distinguished from one another and the difference between them can be easily understood by people. He also created Satan as an opposite and alternative existence of angels who are the purest and most honorable of creatures and who advise people right and good. Because the fact that certain actions are acts of worship, goodness, beauty, and goodness can only be known with the existence of their opposites. And Satan is the one who guides people to evil and ugly actions. So, there are actually a lot of things that I have found I try to keep this subject as simple as I could. But before, a lot of the things that I have talked in the part of fallen angels, so if you want to make things sense about this subject, I highly suggest you to go back to the fallen angels part of it, which is the angels and demons part 1 video that I have on my YouTube channel. So in a lot of religious folklore and traditional writings and sources, demons are fallen angels, which we have talked about it before. They followed Lucifer or Samael or Azazel when he was cast out of heaven by God. Demons are invoked in magic. Because demons are unruly, magicians must force them to obey commands for service. According to occultism, you can do rituals with demons by using them for dark magic or using the ones that are called good demons. So these grimoires give the names, duties, seals, incantations, and rituals summoning and controlling demons. They are especially useful in divination, finding lost treasures, and the casting of spells. When evoked, demons are made to take form in a magic triangle, a secured boundary from which they cannot threaten the magician, who is protected by a magic circle. There are activities of demons that they can cause illnesses and diseases, as they are called unclean spirits. They are where is unclean also. They can possess people and make them do evil things, criminal things. They also can have copulate with people, as we talked about it before under the subject of fallen angels. This refers also they can have sexual intercourse with people. Christianity rejected the idea of sexual intercourse with demons until the 12th century. By the 14th century, it was accepted in theology. The sex with demons became a focus of the Inquisition. Witches and those under demonic control were said to copulate wildly with demons and even with Satan himself. So there are actually also the demons that they have called incubus and succubus. The incubus demon in male form that seeks to have sexual intercourse with sleeping women. The corresponding spirit in female form is called a succubus. In medieval Europe, union with an incubus was supposed by some to result in the birth of witches, demons, and deformed human offspring. The legendary magician Merlin. So, how many of you guys remember this name? I will write it down. Merlin, which is interesting that I actually came up with this information on a few sources, which is interesting that it was also, I have seen it on the some sort of like satanic sources as well. The legendary magician Merlin was said to have been fathered by an incubus. So Merlin was actually fathered by an incubus. Merlin is a mythical figure prominently featured in the legend of King Arthur and best known as a magician with several other main roles. Merlin's traditional biography casts him as an often mad Cambine, born of a mortal woman and an incubus, from whom he inherits his supernatural powers and abilities. His most notable abilities commonly include prophecy and shapeshifting. Merlin matures to an ascendant sagehood and engineers the birth of Arthur through magic and intrigue. These are really interesting informations. Parallel versions of them are existing in many cultures with different names, but they're always talking about the same thing. The word incubus is derived from the Latin incubus, which means nightmare, or incubare or incubare, to lie upon, weigh upon, brood, it means. In modern psychological usage, the term has been applied to the type of nightmare that gives one feeling of a heavy weight or oppression on the chest and stomach. So this is also making me remember something according to the Turkish culture and Islamic culture as well, that we call them as Karabasan. So succubus, female form of an incubus. The male incubi also molested women, and the female succubi molested men. Both kinds of demons were said to masquerade as humans in order to seduce their prey. The actual sexual act, however, was held to be painful and wild. Women impregnated by demons were supposed to give birth to monsters. Witch hunters said that demons enter into marriages with humans, which there's an actually case coming up that I will just talk about it. Yeah, there's a case that Bertrand Barbier and Sinchen, which I will put their names. It is interesting. I came across with names, but when I made search about them, I could not come across with any information about who they are. And this is actually interesting that I found their names in the satanic sources and occultic sources also as well, that it is put in the book, which you can find that source of it as well. But this is an actually really interesting subject. So, did I? Oh no, I have said the name wrong. Just a second, sorry. Bertrand. Yes, now it is, right? Here we go. This is their name, okay? So they have witnessed a case. They testimonied something. So there's a case that Bertrand Barbier and Sinchen witnessed a marriage at night in place where criminals were crucified. Instead of giving the bride a ring, the bridegroom blew his breath into the bride's back part, the inappropriate part, and a roasted black she goat was served at the wedding feast. This tale is coming up. This tale is characteristic of the stories fabricated in which trials and used by inquisitors to convict and execute accused heretics and witches. When I made research about, like I have mentioned it, about who these two people are, I really couldn't find anything about them and who they are or who they were. But like I said, in a lot of demonology sources, I have seen their names only with this testimony in 1587. Yeah, how interesting is that? And on the internet before, I haven't seen that many people talking about this information as well. So I don't know if this is true or if this is right, but you feel free to do your own research and judgments about it. It is totally up to your discernment. Now, we are going to start talking about the 72 angels and demons. I don't want to talk about the demons that much anymore because previously on the fallen angels part, I have talked a lot about it. That's why we're going to start this subject, 72 angels and demons. Why do they exist? Because according to esoteric thought, everything in the universe is bipolar. Like we have talked about the duality before. Eventually, later on my channel, I will be talking about why actually there is no duality like the way esotericism talks about the bipolarity. There is duality, but it is totally different. Esotericism is making this polarity so harsh, sharp, and like a line that can never be crossed. But we will talk about this later. This is now about angels and demons. We're talking about the duality, light and dark, above and below, right hand way, which is called the theurgy, and the left hand way, which is called goetia. 72 angels and 72 demons are complementary aspects of this duality. The source of this number is the 72 names of God, Shem HaMephorash, derived from the three-letter combinations of the name of Yahweh, which we have talked about it before as well. Each name is a vibration, a form of consciousness, a point of power. So, as I was talking about the angels and fallen angels subject, I was mentioning this part that it was coming up. So if you remember that, keep your antennas on. The concept of 72 angels and 72 demons come from a blend of Jewish mysticism, which is called Kabbalah, or Christian esotericism, and medieval remorse. Their number 72 isn't arbitrary. It's based on a deep symbolic, linguistic, and mystical structures. And let's talk why they exist and why that number matters. So let's talk about the 72 angels, Shem HaMephorash. We have mentioned this name on the first part of the angels and demons subject. The origin comes from the Jewish Kabbalah and Christian esotericism. The purpose of this name is the divine helpers, protectors, spiritual guides. Why 72? The Shem HaMephorash, or the explicit name of God, is a 72-letter name derived from Exodus chapter 14, between 19 and 21st parts. Excuse me, my throat started getting dry again. Each of the 72 angels is associated with one permutation of that divine name. They are considered aspects or emissaries of divine light, helping humanity in various ways: protection, healing, wisdom, and enlightenment. Each angel is tied to 5-degree segments of the zodiac, specific days and specific hours, and certain virtues and powers as well. So it is the same way in the 72 demons as well. So 72 demons are called Goetia or Ars Goetia. The origin is Christian demonology and grimoires like the Lemegeton, which is the other name of this, is the Key of Solomon. The purpose of this is that represent the lower aspects of spiritual power, chaotic, rebellious, but still part of the cosmic balance. So why 72? Because the 72 demons of the Ars Goetia mirror the structure of the 72 angels. They are said to have been bound by King Solomon, using the same sacred knowledge that governs the angels. Each demon governs a legion of spirits, possesses unique powers, and rules over specific areas like wealth, war, knowledge, and or manipulation. Symbolically, they represent the shadow, the other side of the coin, part of the universal duality, light and dark, order and chaos, something like that. The duality and balance is actually a really interesting part. 72 angels represent the order of divine will. The 72 demons represent the chaos of ego, rebellion, and lower desires. Together, they reflect a universal symmetry, similar to yin yang, not purely evil or good, but forces of transformation. Many occult traditions believe that working with both properly and respectfully allows for inner alchemical transformation, mastery of both light and shadow within the self. So, there is actually that I would like to show you, but on my StreamYard, I could not figure it out. I think I should supposed to change the um, file type, I guess, but I can do this on the next upcoming episode, which I will be talking about it as well. Uh, there is a chart that actually every single angel is coming across with every single demons, which are also mentioned in the certain big biblical verses as well. And the interesting part is that, so now this is actually one of my questions I would like to ask you guys while we are talking about angels and demons. While people are doing the angelical Reiki, do you think is there a demonic Reiki? Think about that. And now let's keep talking about the subject. In some esoteric traditions, as I was just mentioning, that each angel is paired with a specific demon, and these pairings are considered a reflection of duality and balance. So now this part is actually this information us leading us to the really interesting part of the occultism, which is also leading us to super specific informations about the angels and demons. Well, I didn't want to go in deep occultism or the esotericism because I cannot explain all these things in here to make you guys do some sort of rituals on those days and stuff. But each angel has their own astrological sign and time and date and specific day and periodic time and everything, as the demons have the same thing that I was mentioning previously. But this is also leading us to the astrology of the angels. The astrology of the angels is actually an interesting part, which is telling us some sort of like mathematical informations. The ruling dates of the angels were originally derived from the 10-day periods ruled over by the 36 Egyptian decans. So the Egyptian decans are a series of stars or small groups of stars used in Egyptian astrology. These stars were worshipped as part of Egyptian practices, but after this information, it is actually going to the calculation of like uh 360 days, and then there's actually the extra 5 days that word is coming from and word is going to, and blah blah blah. This is something too cultic information, so I don't want to go any deeper than this really. But I actually want to talk about the hierarchy of angels and demons. But I think this time it's a perfect timing. I think it's been 15 minutes. If there is any other subject that you guys would like to talk, or you guys would want me to do specific researches about angels and demons, or any other subjects you're interested in, please let me know in the comments as well. And if you have any questions about it, please let me know about that as well. Because right now, I am actually thinking to end this subject in here, which is the perfect timing, before I start talking about the hierarchy of angels and demons, which I will be coming up with the chart, and I will be talking about it a little longer as well. But right now is perfect timing to cut this off. And next week, I am actually thinking to talk about the subject that is based on the hierarchy of angels and demons. After I get done with that subject, please join to me for the live readings that I will be given. I'm sure I will have enough time to give at least few of you guys some live readings. So join to me next week. Oh, I got so tired, guys. Thank you so much for being in here. I appreciate it. I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.